Okay, let's dive right into this. Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're completely dismantling one of the most frustrating, misunderstood, and frankly lied about topics in health and fitness: stubborn belly fat. We're going to look closely at the hard science from the NHS, the Mayo Clinic, and the absolute latest clinical biology to understand exactly what is happening inside your body.
Look, I want to speak directly to the frustration you might be feeling right now, because you know the feeling, right? You put in weeks of grueling, incredibly hard work. You skip the treats, you push through the intense workouts, you finally step on the scale, and absolutely nothing has changed. You look in the mirror, and the belly is still there, it's still soft, still the exact same. It honestly feels like your body's just broken. But I promise you, it's not.
You haven't failed. You really haven't. As the saying goes, you've been lied to by an entire industry, because spot reduction is just not real. You've simply been misled by fitness myths perfectly designed to sell you quick fixes. Think about it. When you do endless crunches, you're only training the muscle underneath. You're doing absolutely zero to burn the layer of fat sitting on top of it. They're two completely different biological processes.
So, these are the useless tactics you can officially stop doing right now, today. Doing 1,000 crunches, buying those absurd 7-day belly fat destroyer programs, torturing yourself with fasted cardio, or literally wrapping yourself in waist trainers. Just let go of the guilt and definitely save your money. These exhausted methods completely ignore reality. Fat loss happens system-wide. Your body decides where fat comes off based on genetics and hormones, not which specific muscle you happen to be flexing.
Section 1. The biology of stubborn belly fat and why your body actually protects it. Okay, prepare for a massive aha moment here. Every single fat cell in your body has two types of receptors. Think of beta-2 receptors as the unlock button. When your body sends out fat-burning signals, these receptors respond immediately, rapidly releasing stored fat. Your face and your arms are absolutely packed with these beta receptors, which is exactly why your face leans out first. But the alpha-2 receptors? Well, those are the hold button. They actively resist those exact same fat-burning signals. And guess where they're heavily concentrated? Yup, your lower belly and your lower back.
So, when you look in the mirror and see that stubborn fat, you have to understand this isn't bad luck. It isn't your genetics trying to punish you. Your belly fat is literally an ancient survival mechanism protecting you from starvation. Your body evolved to protect abdominal fat as its absolute last energy reserve. Knowing this means we have to stop trying to force it and start using a much smarter approach to override that survival response. But before we get into the nutrition protocol, we really need to address a hidden lifestyle factor. Section 2. Cortisol, the hidden enemy. The hormone completely hijacking your progress.
That enemy is cortisol. This is your primary stress hormone. I want you to think of cortisol as a sort of hormonal bodyguard for your belly fat. Even if you're eating perfectly and you're training hard, if your body is just flooded with cortisol, it sends a competing signal that completely overrides your fat-burning signals. It tells your body to store fat preferentially right there in the abdominal region.
So if you're hitting common triggers, constant deadlines and anxiety, running on less than 7 hours of sleep, overtraining, or basically surviving on 4 cups of coffee, your body is fighting you from the inside out. This means that getting 7 to 9 hours of sleep a night isn't just about feeling rested the next day. It is an active, biological fat loss tool. You have to fire the hormonal bodyguard first.
So, how do we actually fix this? Section 3. The Proven Nutrition Protocol. How to start working with your biology.
1 to 2. That's the magic number to keep in mind. Major health authorities, including the NHS and the Mayo Clinic, emphasize that you should be aiming for 1 to 2 pounds of weight loss per week. Why? Because extreme starvation diets just crash your metabolism, they heavily spike your cortisol, and they signal to your body that it needs to hold on to its survival belly fat even tighter.
Let's walk through the dietary anchors for fat loss that actually penetrate those stubborn alpha receptor zones. First off, the Mayo Clinic recommends maintaining a moderate 300 to 750 daily calorie deficit. Sustained over time, this is what forces the body to eventually tap into the stubborn stores. Next, you must hit 0.8 to 1 gram of protein per pound of your goal body weight every single day. And finally, follow the NHS guidance to eat plant-based foods and get your 5 a day. Fiber is what keeps you full, and that's exactly what makes a calorie deficit sustainable in the real world.
And this comparison brilliantly illustrates why protein is so non-negotiable. The metabolic cost of digesting it is just incredible. If you eat 200 calories of chicken, your body burns so much energy simply breaking it down that you only net about 150 calories. But 200 calories of fat, like olive oil, that nets you 194 calories. Eating a high-protein diet literally burns extra calories just through the act of digestion, all while completely killing your hunger. It's a total game changer.
Now let's pivot to exercise. Section 4, movement that actually works, and exactly why cardio isn't enough. Look, while cardio is absolutely fantastic for your heart, and it definitely burns some extra calories, cardio alone cannot target those stubborn alpha receptors. Resistance training, though, things like squats, deadlifts, and presses, actually improves your body's insulin sensitivity. It improves your body's ability to send fat-releasing signals directly to those stubborn belly cells. Plus, it builds muscle, which is the literal engine of your metabolism.
Now, 30 to 40, this is an incredibly alarming number. If you only do cardio to lose weight and you end up losing 3 to 4 pounds of muscle in the process, your daily resting metabolism drops by 30 to 40 calories a day. Over time, that silently erases your hard-earned calorie deficit. You're basically handing a full pound of fat right back to your body just because you lost muscle. You must lift weights to preserve your metabolic engine.
Which brings us to the final and honestly arguably the most important piece of the entire puzzle. Section 5, mindset, consistency, and time.
The Mayo Clinic details a truly brilliant strategy for this. They recommend focusing entirely on action goals, the how, rather than obsessing over outcome goals, the what. And here's why. Your body needs 8 to 16 weeks of runway. That's 8 to 16 weeks of honest, consistent effort before it exhausts the easy fat and is actually forced to tap into the stubborn belly fat. If you only focus on the scale, you're going to quit at week 3 right before the magic happens. Focus on the actions, walking your 30 minutes, eating your vegetables.
Now, let's do some math that might actually shock you a bit. This number, 3,500, represents the hard-earned weekly calorie deficit you painstakingly build from Monday to Friday by eating really well and training hard. It takes incredible discipline to create this. And then there's 5,000. This is the number of calories you can effortlessly consume in just 48 hours during a weekend of drinks, a nice restaurant dinner, Sunday brunch mimosas, and a late-night takeaway. This right here is what we call the weekend wipeout. It quietly, ruthlessly assassinates your 5-day deficit. Literally 2 days of indulgence completely erase 5 days of incredible discipline. This is exactly why so many people spin their wheels for an entire year without ever seeing visible progress in the mirror. Stubborn belly fat doesn't care about a Monday to Friday diet. It absolutely requires 7-day consistency.
To stay consistent for those necessary 8 to 16 weeks, you have got to stop trusting only the scale. If you're lifting weights and losing fat, the scale might barely even move because you're building dense muscle while shedding fat at the exact same time. Instead, check your belt notch, take a tape measure to your waist, take bi-weekly photos in the exact same lighting. These are the tools that will tell you the real story of how your body is actually transforming. So, I'll leave you with this final, crucial question to think about. Are you ready to stop fighting your biology and actually start working with it? You know now that you cannot spot reduce. You know your belly is protected by alpha receptors, it's guarded by cortisol, and it requires a sustained protein-heavy deficit paired with resistance training to finally break down. It's time to put the gimmicks away, set your action goals, and give your body the runway it needs. The science is completely clear, the path is right in front of you, now it's your turn to execute.